Chapter 18. Fragments of Truth. The glow of dawn crept over the city, pale light spilling into Anna Petrov's study where the wives gathered once again. The aftermath of the dock operation lingered like an invisible haze, heavy with exhaustion and the unspoken knowledge that their fight was far from over. On the table before them, the spoils of their raid lay spread out, documents, weapons, and a small black ledger that seemed to hold the answers they needed. Anna stood at the head of the table, her fingers resting lightly on the ledger. "This is what we've been waiting for. Names, accounts, operations, Radcliffe's network laid bare." Maria Gonzalez leaned forward, her sharp gaze fixed on the ledger. "It's enough to dismantle her, but it'll take time to act on all of this, and time is one thing we don't have." Sophia Russo's voice was quieter, cautious. "Radcliffe will know we have this. She'll move fast to cover her tracks." Laura Williams's tone was firm. "Then we hit her before she has the chance. We pick the key pieces and take them out now." Anna nodded, her gaze sweeping the room. "Maria, prioritize the financial leads. Laura, keep surveillance on Radcliffe and her operatives. Sophia—" She paused, her expression softening. "I need you to keep pressing your contacts. Anything that gives us an edge." Sophia hesitated, then nodded. "I'll do what I can." Maria's breakthrough. Maria worked tirelessly in her home office, her monitors glowing as she sifted through the ledger's entries. One name caught her attention: Dominic Harrington, a key financier for Radcliffe's operations. His name was tied to several offshore accounts, each linked to critical parts of Radcliffe's network. Maria picked up her phone and dialed Anna. "I've got something. Harrington's accounts are tied to weapon shipments and bribery payments. If we freeze them, we cut off a significant part of her funding." Anna's voice was steady. "Do it, but make sure it can't be traced back to us." Sophia's encounter. Sophia wandered through an upscale gallery, her eyes scanning the crowd as she searched for her contact. The man in the grey suit appeared beside her, his presence as unsettling as ever. "You've been busy," he said, his tone neutral. Sophia glanced at him, her voice calm but edged with tension. "What do you want?" He handed her a small envelope. "A warning. Radcliffe knows you've been digging. She's watching your every move." Sophia's heart raced, but she kept her composure. "And why should I trust you?" The man's smile was faint. "Because we both know what happens if she wins." Sophia opened the envelope after he disappeared, revealing a list of names. At the top was her own. Laura's surveillance. From her vantage point in a warehouse overlooking the city, Laura monitored Radcliffe's operatives. One figure stood out, a courier making frequent trips between Radcliffe's safe houses. "She's moving something," Laura said into her comms. "I'll follow him and see where it leads." "Be careful," Anna's voice replied. "We can't afford to lose you." Laura trailed the courier through the city, her movements silent and deliberate. He led her to a nondescript building in a quiet neighborhood. As she watched from the shadows, she saw Radcliffe herself step out, her expression cold and calculating. Laura snapped photos, her pulse quickening. "I've got her, she's here." The confrontation, the wives gathered at the estate, their findings laid out on the table. Maria detailed Harrington's financial ties, Sophia revealed the list of names, and Laura presented her surveillance photos. "She's consolidating her power," Maria said, "but we've hit her where it hurts." Anna's gaze was sharp. "Then we need to keep pushing. Radcliffe won't stop unless we force her to." Sophia's voice was hesitant. "And the names? What do we do with them?" Anna picked up the list, her expression unreadable. "We use them. Every one of them is a thread we can pull." Radcliffe's counterstrike. In her office, Helen Radcliffe reviewed the reports of the wives' activities. Her expression was cold as she issued orders to her operatives. "They're getting too close," Radcliffe said. "Increase security on every operation, and remind our allies what happens to those who betray us." Her lieutenant hesitated. "And the wives?" Radcliffe's smile was chilling. "Let them think they're winning. It'll make their fall that much sweeter." The tipping point. As the night deepened, the wives prepared for their next moves. Trust was thin, and the weight of their decisions pressed heavily on each of them. Anna poured herself a glass of whiskey, her gaze distant. "We're close, but close isn't enough. We need to finish this." Maria raised her glass. "To the end." The others followed suit, their glasses clinking in a solemn vow. The battle lines were drawn, and the next strike would determine their fate.